I was the company president, and I walked away for nothing? Am I crazy? I spent 10 years building a reputation only to realize that I was winning at a game that I didn't want to play. I had the president title, the steady paycheck, and the respect. But behind the 14-hour days, my family was struggling, and I was just burnt out. I'm 34, and I'm starting all over again. I'm not just switching jobs. I'm reclaiming my life back. And if you've ever felt this way, that you're doing everything right, but you're still losing ground, I'm there with you. As president of the company, I've learned so much. I've made incredible friends in the field. I've helped everyone I could, 24/7. But behind the long days and answering everyone's beck and call to make them happy, there was something else that was still missing from my life that I just couldn't ignore. Despite the success on paper, my family and I were still struggling. I spent 10 years becoming president, only to have my boss call the police on me the day I quit. Have you ever felt this way? Like you're doing everything right for everyone else, but still losing ground personally? I've spent years winning at a game I can just tell you I didn't want to play. I had the title. I did things the right way, and I was still losing. Subscribe to see my story. I'm stepping away from the title and the HVAC field, but that's okay. No one wants to admit that they're leaving something they worked so hard to achieve. I want to build something different. And if you've ever felt stuck, I'd love for you to follow along with me on this journey. Let's see where this road takes us. I'm 34 years old. I've owned part of a company. I've led teams. And today, I'm starting all over again. I'm not just switching jobs. I'm admitting that the path I was on broke me. I was the guy holding the company together. But the harder I worked, the more my boss expected. I was making it on paper, but in reality, something else was going on in the shadows. I spent a decade being the person everyone called when their world got cold, figuratively. And so, I didn't just leave because I couldn't do the job. Takes manual labor to do it. I left because I deserved a career that didn't require me to sacrifice my health and my family's peace. "10 years of heating and cooling. It wasn't just a job. It was my personal identity. It's who I was. I made so many friends in the field. I spent my life in crawl spaces, on rooftops, working in freezing Montana winters. People ask me, why would you walk away from such a profitable HVAC business? Well, here's part of the industry that no one really likes to talk about. It's the margins. I've seen companies, and I've been in the middle of it, charging an average of 800 to 1,000% markup on parts for furnaces and boilers. And if you're looking at a $50 part, you're gonna sell that to the homeowner for over $450 plus labor. That's just the nature of the business. So in a tech world, if I built a tool or an app, the value is in the efficiency. And the solution I create, it's not overcharging someone for a basic necessity in the middle of winter. If you want some simple how-tos for furnaces and boilers, I'm more than happy to make some for you if you guys want to see them. Drop a comment, and I'd love to help you out on some simple maintenance procedures for some of them that will keep you from having to spend 1,000% markup on getting them fixed. The easiest thing to do is just do the basic maintenance. So much simpler than repairing a huge bill that comes in because nobody took care of their system. I was at a time dealing with a boss who bought our company. My father and I sold it. We owned it, but then things were getting tough, so we decided to sell it. He bought me a nice truck, but he was a boss who really never wanted to talk on the phone. He only wanted to communicate through text or instant messaging. He never wanted me to see the books. He just kept telling me to keep doing what you're doing. That didn't help. I had no idea where the path we were on was leading us. Then, after the honeymoon phase was over, I was pretty much a serial number to him. Have you ever felt like your company would replace you in a heartbeat if you stopped producing? Tell me about your I'm done moment in the comments. My employees and workmates started to walk away because they saw where things were headed. Where was the company headed exactly? Well, at the time, I didn't know. I tried to give the guys raises. They were working so hard. Living in Montana, it's difficult. The prices of rent are ridiculous, and someone making $30 an hour can barely have a life in Bozeman, Montana. So that aha moment wasn't a light bulb. I'll be straight with you, it was a breakdown. I realized something. My whole life was going nowhere, literally and figuratively. My boss was running me into the ground. He expected so much of me when all I had was only so much to give. He even questioned my sick time, if I was really sick, and asked my workmates. Once I finally decided to quit, enough's enough, I wrote a very respectful letter, and that's one thing I don't want to do, is be rude, saying that I'm officially done. It was time to move on. The very next day, I get a call from the police. My former boss called them and said I stole tools, of which I had all the receipts for, thank goodness. I complied with the police officer. In the end, he told me I was very respectful and loved how I handled the whole situation. So, after all that craziness, my spouse and I packed it up. We left Montana. Moving from a place where everyone knows you for what you do, where you are defined by your job before you even are known or seen as a person. That's a heavy weight to carry. Sheldon, the HVAC guy. Have you ever felt like you're just a tool to the people around you? Like if you stop providing that one service, they wouldn't know who you were. If you ever felt like you need to just disappear just to find yourself again, let me know in the comments below. So, where am I now? Well, I'm a student. Some days I feel like I finally got it. Most days, I feel like I'm starting from scratch. It's incredibly humbling from going to being the expert in the room, knowing exactly what's going on with the situation with the furnace or the boiler, to not knowing simple syntax. It is incredibly humbling. And I was always the person who was looked up to for the answers. Now, I have to ask for help myself. So to anyone out there starting over, how are you handling that beginner phase? Is it easy, hard, difficult, or you love the new transition? Let me know in the comments. But here's the reality of the fresh start. People don't usually want to post about starting over. People don't really want to post about that. Going from studying and going out, doing DoorDash deliveries, trying to make some money on the side just to keep the lights on. I went from having a title and having a team to report to me to reporting to a delivery app for a few bucks and to make some deliveries. And that's totally okay. I'm doing this the hard way. No shortcuts, no easy outs, because I need to know for myself that I have what it takes to actually master something new. I'm showing this because I want to show the beginning, the middle, and the end result. I'm not just going to show you the before and after. I want to show you the whole thing. So if you're in the beginning, middle, or end, let me know. Bring it out in the comments. That way we can talk about it, how we got from point A to point B, and how did you fare? Was it difficult? Was it easy? But if you are in that middle phase right now and you're trying to figure out where you're going, subscribe and follow along, and let's see where this road takes us. If you can go from blue collar to being a white collar. So one thing I wanted to bring out is this isn't about the right or wrong decision. It's never too late to change your life. You can be young or old. I'm in the middle. I'm been at the top of my trade and now I'm starting at the bottom. And I'm okay with that. That's the biggest thing. You have to be okay with it. One thing I wanted to bring out and share with you is my coding story, my software engineering story. How I successfully learned code, what tools I've used, as well as who do I follow on YouTube what direction shouldn't you go and which direction should you go. That's one of the reasons why I'm starting out this story. There's so much. There's boot camps you can attend, there's universities you can go to, and then there's the self-taught. I'm in a boot camp right now. I'm going to Coding Temple. It's an online course, and they have the whole structure. That's the reason I really wanted to go with it. And they guarantee that if you can't find a job at the end of their course, they will refund you your money. And I paid $3,500 for that course. It's really nice because it shows you all the tools, what you need to download, and it's a step-by-step process. You have instructors to help you on the way. And I'm going to do a more in-depth review on them as I go through it, but I'm 1/3 through the course right now. So I've already completed HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and now I'm starting to learn React. So let's see where this journey takes us. I am so excited to share this with you, and so excited I just moved my mic. We'll talk to you on the next one.